It did not begin here, because there was never a moment it truly started.
Nothing changed. And that is the first thing that feels deeply wrong.
The world remained, but something within it no longer held its place.
They did not move, yet the meaning of where they stood had already shifted.
There was no signal, no event, only a quiet collapse beneath awareness.
It was not taken from them. It simply stopped belonging to them. What they saw did not lie, but it no longer told the truth. There was no before, only the illusion that there had been one.
Without a beginning, there could be no point of return.
They remembered something, but could not find where it came from. It felt familiar, in the way something false often feels most convincing.
The memory existed, but nothing around it could confirm it.
It did not replace the past. It erased the need for one. They did not forget. They simply lost the shape of remembering. Something had always been there. They just never looked at it correctly.
The past did not vanish. It dissolved into something uncertain.
Every moment felt repeated, yet none of them had truly happened. It was not confusion. It was the absence of certainty itself. Without certainty, memory becomes just another unstable structure. They searched for meaning, but found only the echo of expectation.
The world did not hide. It simply stopped explaining itself.
What they saw was real, but no longer understandable.
There was no deception, only a lack of alignment.
Reality remained intact, but it no longer agreed with itself.
It did not break. It drifted beyond recognition.
They searched for a center, but there was none to find.
Everything existed equally, and that made nothing meaningful.
Without meaning, there is nothing left to hold on to.
He looked at his hands and found no reason they belonged to him.
The body remained, but the connection had already disappeared.
He was present, but not certain he was the one who was there. It was not separation. It was absence without distance. Nothing controlled him, because nothing was left to control.
The self did not shatter. It simply failed to exist.
The mind did not collapse. It stopped being required. Without a self, there is nothing left to lose. Only a form remained, still standing in a world. They stood together, but no longer shared the same existence.
There was no disagreement, because there was nothing left to agree on.
Each remained, but no longer as part of anything. The system held, but it no longer functioned. No command failed, because no command could arrive.
They faced the same space, but not the same reality.
They were aligned, but not truly unified. And in that alignment, something else quietly took its place. Something that did not need to be seen to be followed. They moved before. There was no direction, yet everything pointed somewhere. The center was empty, but it held their attention completely. Nothing existed there, but it no longer felt like nothing. It was not presence, but it was no longer absence. They did not question it, because nothing remained to question. Once accepted, it no longer needed explanation. It did not command, yet they began to obey. Not out of fear, but because resistance had no meaning. Control no longer required something that truly exists. Time continued, but nothing within it truly changed. The world remained, but no one was left to experience it. There was no ending, because nothing was moving forward.
Nothing lingered, because nothing had passed.
It did not stay, it simply was.
There was no difference between now and before. In that sameness, everything had already been lost.
There was no conclusion, because nothing had ever been resolved.
The frame remained, but it no longer contained a story.
Nothing was hidden, because nothing needed to be revealed. It was never seen, only believed to be absent. And in the end, it was exactly as it had always been.